There's been a lot of talk about one particular provision of H.R. 1, the big beautiful bill that passed the House, and it relates to contempt proceedings, citations by judges against people who violate orders of the court, restraining orders or injunctions. It would apply to all of them unless a bond had been posted, which often is not the case, and is even retroactive. Here's the language, and it starts with no court of the United States, so federal courts may use appropriated funds to enforce a contempt citation, etc. What's the issue? In order to get through the Senate without being subject to the filibuster, meaning you'd need 60 votes, every provision of this bill has to be budgetary in nature. It has to be a budget bill, and then it goes through a process called reconciliation, where you only need 50 votes. Why? Because a 50-50 tie would be broken by the vice president. The Senate parliamentarian will be the one who decides if each and every provision is budgetary. Now, you can sever out provisions that aren't. So, for example, if this provision is determined not to be budgetary, it doesn't mean the whole bill fails. It just means that section comes out. Republicans and Democrats alike in the Senate are going through pretty much every line of this bill to see if they think that each one is budgetary, how they will defend it or attack it in front of the parliamentarian. You can't just sneak policy issues into the bill under the guise of it being budgetary, and that's what they have tried to do in the House by saying no court may use appropriated funds. They're saying that that basically makes it budgetary. I think pretty much anybody with a head on their shoulders sees that that's just a ruse. That's trying to make a policy decision budgetary by saying you can't spend federal money on it. That makes absolutely no sense. But as we saw a week and a half ago, the Senate can ignore the parliamentarian. Now, in that case, they found another way around it, but they basically ignored the parliamentarian. Would they this time? Who knows? They may say they won't. Doesn't mean that they won't. In any event, you can expect many provisions of the bill to be stripped out because they are not budgetary. This has to be high on the list. I don't see it getting through.